story of the 2000p Sacagawea dollar begins with a remarkable historical figure, Sacagawea, whose image was chosen to represent a new era of U.S. coinage. When the United States Mint released this golden-colored dollar in the year 2000, collectors immediately sensed something special. Unlike older silver dollars, this coin carried a warm glow and a fresh design. Yet rumors quickly spread that certain early strikes from the Philadelphia Mint carried unusual characteristics that could transform an ordinary-looking coin into a breathtaking treasure. What makes the 2000p Sacagawea dollar so fascinating is the possibility of rare variations hidden among millions. Some coins show exceptionally sharp feathered details on the eagle. Others display unusual surfaces, and a few are struck with experimental dyes. These subtle differences are often invisible at first glance, but to collectors they represent a dividing line between a $1 coin and a piece worth thousands. The excitement comes from the idea that a coin sitting quietly in a drawer might hold an overlooked rarity. One of the most talked about mysteries surrounding this issue involves the legendary Cheerios promotional coins. Early in 2000, special Sacagawea dollars were inserted into cereal boxes, and some of those coins featured enhanced tail feather details. When collectors later discovered this difference, the value surged dramatically. Suddenly, the humble 2000p dollar became the focus of treasure hunters, who began searching through rolls and collections hoping to uncover that elusive variant. The 2000p coins from Philadelphia sometimes show brilliant satin finishes and sharply defined lettering. When preserved in mint condition, these coins capture light in a way that makes them appear almost silver-like despite their golden alloy. High-grade examples graded near perfection have sold for astonishing prices, especially when combined with rare dye varieties. The market reward perfection, and pristine specimens can multiply in value beyond expectations. Another factor driving fascination is the limited number of top-grade coins. While millions were minted, only a tiny fraction survived without scratches, contact marks, or dulling. Professional grading services often assign extremely high values to coins that achieve near-perfect grades. When a 2000p Sacagawea dollar reaches that elite level, collectors compete intensely, pushing prices higher and fueling stories of unexpected fortune. The design itself contributes to the allure. The obverse shows Sacagawea carrying her infant son, a powerful symbol of exploration and resilience. The reverse displays a soaring eagle surrounded by stars, representing ambition and expansion. When these details appear sharply struck, the coin becomes visually captivating, and collectors are willing to pay a premium for exceptional eye appeal. Rumors of silver Sacagawea dollars also add to the excitement. Although standard coins are not silver, a few experimental strikes were made on different planchets during testing. These unusual pieces, if authenticated, become legendary finds. The possibility of such anomalies keeps collectors searching, imagining that one rare coin could dramatically change their financial future. Condition remains everything in this market. A circulated 2000p Sacagawea dollar is usually worth only face value, but a flawless coin with rare characteristics can leap into hundreds or thousands. This dramatic contrast fuels the idea that careful inspection is essential. Tiny details like luster, strike strength, and surface preservation determine whether a coin is ordinary or extraordinary. Collectors also pay attention to die cracks, double lettering, and unusual minting errors. These mint mistakes, while accidental, often create one-of-a-kind pieces. A 2000p Sacagawea dollar with dramatic doubling or striking error can attract intense bidding. The rarity of such coins transforms them into centerpiece items for serious collections. The fascination grows because these coins are still relatively modern. Unlike ancient rarities locked in museums, the 2000p Sacagawea dollars may still be found in circulation, old bankrolls, or inherited coin jars. This accessibility creates the thrilling belief that anyone might discover a valuable example without needing to spend large amounts. Another layer of intrigue lies in early strikes from fresh dies. Coins struck at the very beginning of production often show the most detailed features. Collectors refer to these as premium examples, and they frequently command higher prices. The sharper the feathers and lettering, the more desirable the coin becomes. Over time, stories have circulated about collectors finding rare 2000p coins in unexpected places. Some claim discovering them in unopened rolls, others in estate collections. These discoveries reinforce the idea that hidden treasures still exist, waiting to be recognized by someone who knows what to look for. Grading certification plays a crucial role in determining value. When a coin is professionally graded at an elite level, confidence increases, and buyers are willing to pay more. A 2000p Sacagawea dollar graded near perfection can command extraordinary attention, especially when combined with recognized variety. The golden alloy also contributes to the coin's appeal. Composed primarily of manganese brass, it resists tarnish and maintains its bright color. Coins that remain untouched for years often look freshly minted, making them attractive to collectors seeking eye-catching pieces. Demand continues because the Sacagawea series represent a modern collectible with historical significance. The year 2000 marked a transition in U.S. dollar coin design, and first-year issues often carry special importance. This historical context helps explain why collectors focus heavily on the earliest examples. Market excitement sometimes exaggerates values into the millions narrative, but genuine high-grade or rare variety coins can indeed reach impressive prices. The key is authenticity, rarity, and condition working together. When all three align, the result is a coin that stands far above ordinary pieces. Collectors often advise examining every 2000p Sacagawea dollar carefully. Look for crisp tail feathers, bright luster, minimal marks, and unusual features. These small clues might indicate a premium example worthy of professional evaluation. The thrill lies in the possibility that a common-looking coin hides extraordinary value. In the end, the 2000p Sacagawea dollar captures imagination because it blends history, mystery, and opportunity. Whether found in a roll, a drawer, or a collection, the coin invites careful inspection. For some, it remains just a dollar. For others, it becomes a prized collectible. That uncertainty keeps collectors searching, hoping the next coin they examine might reveal a fortune waiting quietly in plain sight. The 2004 D Liberty Sacagawea $1 coin carries a quiet mystique that often goes unnoticed, yet among collectors it can spark intense curiosity. Featuring Sacagawea on the obverse and struck at the Denver facility of the United States Mint, this coin blends modern circulation with the possibility of rare, valuable variations. At first glance, it looks like an ordinary golden dollar, but the difference between common and extraordinary examples lies in subtle details that only trained eyes tend to notice. Collectors often search for the 2004 D because certain pieces show unusually sharp strikes, mirror-like surfaces, or unexpected coloration that hints at something special. While most circulated coins trade for face value or slightly above, the excitement builds when a specimen appears with unusual luster or a distinctive finish. That's when whispers about high values begin, because the market rewards coins that break away from a normal mass-produced appearance. Some of the most talked about examples are those suspected of being struck on experimental or off-metal planchets. The standard Sacagawea dollar is manganese brass-clad, but when a coin appears with silvery tone, collectors immediately suspect a minting anomaly. These rare off-metal strikes can transform an otherwise ordinary coin into a trophy piece, sometimes commanding thousands depending on authentication and condition. Condition is another factor that dramatically influences value. A 2004 D Sacagawea coin that has never been circulated, retaining blazing mint luster with no scratches, stand apart from worn examples. High-grade coins graded at the very top of the scale become extremely scarce because very few survive untouched. When collectors compete for one of these pristine pieces, prices can climb far beyond expectations. There are also double-die varieties where letters or numbers appear slightly duplicated due to a misalignment during die creation. These varieties are subtle but highly desirable. If a 2004 D coin displays strong doubling in the date, lettering, or design elements, collectors may pay a premium simply because the error represents a unique minting story frozen in metal. Another intriguing possibility comes from off-center strikes or misaligned dies. When the design is shifted, even slightly, it creates a visually dramatic coin that instantly captures attention. The more dramatic the shift while still showing the full date and mint mark, the more desirable it becomes. Such pieces often travel quickly through auctions, fueled by collectors chasing unusual minting mistakes. Surface texture also matters. Some 2004, D coins appear with satin-like finishes, unusually reflective fields, or frosted devices that give them a near-proof appearance. These coins are not officially proofs, yet their distinctive surfaces make them stand out. When certified and preserved in high grade, they can sell for significantly higher prices than standard circulation pieces. The myth of million-dollar Sacagawea coins often comes from extremely rare mint errors combined with top-tier condition. While such extreme values are extraordinarily uncommon, a single unique specimen with a dramatic minting mistake could command remarkable attention. The market for error coins is unpredictable, and collectors sometimes pay surprising amounts for one-of-a-kind pieces. Collectors also look closely at the edge of the coin. Even though Sacagawea dollars of this era typically have plain edges, irregularities like partial reading impressions or unusual edge damage from the minting process can spark interest. When the anomaly clearly occurred during production, it transforms the coin into a collectible curiosity. Color variation is another subtle clue. Some 2004, D coins show deeper golden tones, while others appear pale or almost silver-like. These differences can result from planchet composition variations or environmental exposure. When the tone appears original and uniform, collectors sometimes suspect a special striking or experimental batch. The Denver mint mark itself plays a role. A crisp, bold D, with strong strike quality signals, a well-produced coin, but oddly shaped or partially filled mint marks can hint at die issues. These small details may seem minor, yet they often determine whether a collector passes by or takes a closer look. Auction results occasionally surprise the hobby. A coin that appears ordinary can sell for a strong premium once certified in exceptional grade. The difference between an average uncirculated coin and a top-grade example can be dramatic, sometimes multiplying value many times over. That's why collectors inspect 2004 D Sacagawea dollars carefully. Historical appeal also adds to the fascination. The Sacagawea dollar series represents an effort to reintroduce dollar coins into everyday use. Because they were widely handled, finding flawless examples years later becomes increasingly difficult. Scarcity in perfect condition naturally pushes prices upward for the best survivors. Another factor is collector psychology. When rumors circulate about rare variants, interest spikes and demand follows. Even without confirmed million-dollar sales, the possibility of discovering something unusual keeps collectors searching. The excitement itself drives attention to coins like the 2004 D. Authentication is crucial before signing any high value. Professional grading services evaluate strike quality, surface preservation, and authenticity. Once a coin is encapsulated with a high grade, it gains credibility and becomes easier to sell at a premium price. Storage plays a role too. Coins preserved in protective holders, since mint release often retain superior surfaces. These carefully stored pieces sometimes emerge years later, looking nearly flawless, attracting serious collectors. Their untouched appearance can make them far more desirable than circulated examples. Despite dramatic claims, most 2004 D Sacagawea coins remain modest in value. However, rare errors, exceptional condition, or unusual metal compositions can elevate a coin dramatically. The difference lies in the details, and those details can transform a simple dollar into a collector's prize. The real power of the 2004 D Sacagawea coin is the possibility it represents. Hidden among ordinary pieces could be a rare minting anomaly waiting to be discovered. That sense of mystery keeps collectors searching, examining, and preserving these coins, because sometimes the most ordinary-looking dollar holds an extraordinary story, and occasionally a surprisingly high value. The Liberty Sacagawea Haudenosaunee $1 coin with the Denver mint mark feels less like an ordinary piece of currency and more like a hidden relic waiting quietly in circulation. At first glance, it carries a familiar golden glow, the calm portrait, and the soaring eagle. Yet collectors know that some versions of this coin hold mystique that turns pocket change into a whispered legend. When one of these rare Denver-struck pieces surfaces with unusual characteristics, it instantly transforms from everyday money into an object of fascination that seems to promise an extraordinary story behind its creation. What makes the Haudenosaunee-themed Sacagawea dollar so captivating is the historical symbolism woven into its design. The imagery represents unity, heritage, and the enduring spirit of indigenous nations, and that deeper meaning adds emotional weight to the coin's value. Collectors are not only searching for metal, they are searching for a narrative, and when a Denver Mint example appears with sharp details and pristine surfaces, it becomes a treasure that feels connected to both history and artistry. The coin's meaning amplifies its desirability, pushing its reputation far beyond its face value. The Denver Mint mark, a tiny D stamped near the date, plays a surprisingly powerful role. In the world of coin collecting, that single letter can shift perception dramatically. Certain Denver strikes are known for low availability and top condition, and when combined with special finishes, unusual die characteristics, or subtle minting anomalies, the coin begins to stand apart. Collectors often scrutinize the edges, the fields, and the lettering, hoping to find that elusive variation that turned a common dollar into a prize worth far more than anyone expected. Stories circulate among enthusiasts about pristine Haudenosaunee Sacagawea dollars discovered in forgotten collections, coin rolls, and even change jars. These tales add an almost mythical aura to the coin, suggesting that unimaginable value might be hiding in plain sight. The idea that something so small could hold such potential creates excitement and fuels the belief that one extraordinary discovery could alter someone's financial destiny. Whether exaggerated or not, these narratives keep collectors searching with intense curiosity. Condition is another force that elevates the coin's reputation. A Denver minted example preserved with flawless luster, razor-sharp details, and untouched surfaces can command attention instantly. The glow of the golden alloy, when perfectly preserved, looks almost radiant, and that visual brilliance becomes part of the coin's allure. Collectors often compete fiercely for specimens that appear untouched by time, believing that perfection magnifies rarity and drives values into astonishing territory. Subtle minting quirks also contribute to the coin's mystique. Slight doubling in lettering, unusual die polish lines, or striking variations can transform an already desirable piece into a conversation-stopping rarity. These tiny differences may be invisible to casual observers, yet seasoned collectors recognize them immediately. When such features appear on a Denver Mint Haudenosaunee Sacagawea dollar, the coin's reputation grows, and whispers of extraordinary worth begin to circulate. The emotional appeal of the coin is equally powerful. It represents exploration, courage, and unity, themes that resonate deeply with collectors. Holding such a coin feels like holding a fragment of a broader story, and that connection makes it more than just a collectible. The Denver Mint mark adds another layer, suggesting limited production nuances that elevate its desirability even further. Together, these elements create a coin that feels special even before its potential value is considered. Collectors often describe the search for this coin as a treasure hunt. They examine rolls, auctions, inherited collections, and forgotten drawers, hoping to uncover a Denver minted example with exceptional features. The thrill of discovery fuels the coin's legend, and each new find adds another chapter to its growing reputation. The possibility that a rare variant might still be hiding in circulation keeps interest alive and intense. Market excitement can sometimes push attention toward these coins dramatically. When a high-grade example appears and attracts strong bidding, it reinforces the perception that the Denver Haudenosaunee Sacagawea dollar could be extraordinarily valuable. The spotlight created by such moments spreads quickly, inspiring more collectors to search and more curiosity to grow. The coin story becomes larger with each surge of interest. The golden color of the Sacagawea dollar also plays a psychological role. Its bright appearance makes it stand out from other coins, and when paired with rarity, that visual impact enhances its appeal. A Denver Mint example with shimmering luster feels almost jewel-like, and collectors often describe the sensation of holding one as unexpectedly striking. This visual charm adds to the coin's reputation as something special. Some collectors believe that undiscovered varieties may still exist, waiting to be identified. That belief fuels speculation and encourages careful examination of every Denver Mint Haudenosaunee dollar encountered. The idea that a subtle difference could unlock extraordinary value keeps interest alive and intensifies the coin's mystique. Even ordinary-looking pieces are studied carefully, just in case they hold hidden significance. The coin's storytelling power is undeniable. It represents not just currency, but heritage, craftsmanship, and the unpredictable nature of collecting. A Denver mint mark example embodies the possibility that something overlooked might hold surprising importance. That narrative resonates strongly with enthusiasts, making the coin feel almost legendary within collecting circles. Over time, the legend grows as more collectors share discoveries and experiences. Each story adds another layer to the coin's reputation, creating a sense that it could be far more valuable than expected. Whether those values reach dramatic heights or remain grounded, the excitement itself becomes part of the coin's appeal. The Denver Haudenosaunee Sacagawea dollar transforms into a symbol of possibility. Even the act of searching for this coin can feel thrilling. Checking dates, mint marks, and surfaces becomes an adventure filled with anticipation. The Denver mint mark serves as a signal to look closer, to examine more carefully, and to consider that this particular coin might be different. That anticipation is what keeps collectors engaged and fascinated. The blend of artistry and scarcity continues to drive interest. The detailed portrait, the symbolic imagery, and the golden hue combine to create a visually compelling piece. When these qualities meet rarity in a Denver strike, the result is a coin that captures attention immediately. It becomes a standout item that collectors remember long after seeing it. The 1976 Liberty Eisenhower $1 coin in your hand. You're not just holding a piece of metal. You're holding a story, a legacy, and perhaps a hidden treasure that many people overlook every single day. This coin, created to celebrate a historic milestone, carries within it a mystery that has captured the imagination of collectors and dreamers alike. In 1976, a special version of the Eisenhower dollar was minted to mark the 200th anniversary of the United States. This bicentennial design was not ordinary. It replaced the usual eagle reverse with a striking image of the Liberty Bell superimposed over the moon. It symbolized freedom, progress, and a nation looking toward the future while honoring its past. But what most people don't realize is that not all 1976 Eisenhower dollars are the same. Among the millions produced, there are rare variations, coins that carry subtle differences in strike, composition, and minting quality. These small details are what separate an ordinary coin from one that can command astonishing value. Some of these coins were minted in a special 40% silver composition, making them far more valuable than the standard copper-nickel versions. These silver coins were often sold in collector sets, but over time, many have been separated, lost, or forgotten, making pristine examples highly desirable today. The true magic lies in the condition of the coin. A 1976 Eisenhower dollar that appears flawless, with sharp details and a mirror-like surface, can be worth far more than its face value. Coins graded at the highest levels, those that look as if they were just struck yesterday, can reach prices that surprise even seasoned collectors. Then there are the rare mint errors. These are the coins that truly ignite excitement. A slight misalignment, a double design, or an unusual strike can transform a simple dollar into a one-of-a-kind collectible. These errors are not just mistakes. They are unique fingerprints of history. Imagine discovering such a coin in an old drawer, a forgotten box, or even in loose change. It might look ordinary at first glance, but under careful inspection, it could reveal characteristics that make it incredibly rare. That moment of realization is what every collector dreams of. The idea that a single coin could change your life overnight may sound like fantasy, but history has shown that rare coins have sold for thousands, even tens of thousands, depending on their rarity and condition. While not every 1976 Eisenhower dollar will make you a millionaire, some can certainly bring unexpected fortune. Collectors around the world are constantly searching for these hidden gems. Auctions, private sales, and collector markets are filled with stories of coins that were once overlooked but later discovered to be extremely valuable. The thrill of the hunt keeps this world alive and exciting. What makes this coin even more fascinating is its accessibility. Unlike ancient artifacts locked away in museums, the 1976 Eisenhower dollar is something that many people already own without realizing its potential. It bridges the gap between everyday life and extraordinary value. However, it is important to approach this with both excitement and realism. Not every coin will carry immense value, and proper evaluation is key. Experts examine factors like mint marks, luster, strike quality, and preservation before determining worth. Still, the possibility alone is enough to spark curiosity. The idea that something so small could hold such significance makes people look at their collections, and even their spare change, in a completely different way. There's also an emotional value attached to these coins. They are reminders of a specific time in history, a celebration of independence, and a tribute to a nation's journey. Owning one is like holding a tiny piece of that story. For those who take the time to learn and observe, the 1976 Eisenhower dollar becomes more than just currency. It becomes a gateway into the world of numismatics, where history, art, and value intersect in fascinating ways. And yes, there are stories, whispers in collector circles, of rare examples selling for astonishing amounts. These stories fuel the imagination and keep the dream alive that somewhere out there, another valuable coin is waiting to be discovered. So if you ever come across a 1976 Eisenhower dollar, don't dismiss it too quickly. Look closely. Examine its details. Because within that coin could lie more than just metal. It could hold a story, a surprise, and perhaps a fortune waiting to be uncovered. In the end, the true power of this coin is not just in its potential price, but in the excitement it brings, the thrill of possibility, the connection to history, and the idea that even the smallest object can carry extraordinary value. The 1978 Liberty Eisenhower $1 coin stands as a fascinating piece of American history, a coin that whispers stories of power, legacy, and the final chapter of an era. This was the last year the Eisenhower dollar was ever produced for circulation, making it instantly more meaningful to collectors who understand the value of the end of a series. Whenever a coin marks the closing of a chapter, it carries a special kind of energy, one that often turns ordinary metal into something extraordinary over time. At first glance, the 1978 Eisenhower dollar may appear like just another large, heavy coin, but hidden within certain rare variations and pristine conditions lies a completely different reality. Some of these coins, especially those preserved in flawless mint condition, have reached astonishing values that shock even experienced collectors. It's not about the age alone. It's about rarity, perfection, and the story locked inside the metal. The design itself adds to its allure. Featuring the bold profile of President Dwight D. Eisenhower on the front, the coin reflects strength and leadership. The reverse, with its striking eagle landing on the moon, symbolizes American ambition and the triumph of space exploration. This combination of historical pride and national achievement gives the coin emotional and symbolic weight, which collectors are always drawn toward. Now here's where things become truly exciting. While millions of these coins were produced, only a tiny fraction exists in near-perfect or untouched condition. Coins graded at the highest levels, those with sharp details, mirror-like surfaces, and no visible marks, can skyrocket in value. These are not coins you casually find in pocket change. These are treasures that have survived decades almost untouched by time. Certain 1978 Eisenhower dollars struck with exceptional clarity or unique minting characteristics can command thousands of dollars in today's market. And when you move into rare-proof versions or coins with unusual errors, the value can climb even higher. Collectors are always hunting for that one coin that stands apart from the rest, the one that tells a different story. There is also the factor of mint marks. Coins minted in different locations can have slight variations, and sometimes one mint produces coins with superior quality or lower survival rates. These subtle differences can dramatically affect value, turning what seems like a common coin into a hidden gem worth far more than expected. Another powerful driver of value is condition grading. A coin graded at the very top, often referred to as perfect or near perfect, can be worth hundreds or even thousands of times more than the same coin in average condition. This is why serious collectors handle coins with extreme care, preserving them in protective cases to maintain their untouched beauty. The idea of becoming rich overnight from a single coin may sound like a dream, but in the world of rare collectibles, it is not entirely impossible. There have been countless stories where a seemingly ordinary coin turned out to be a rare variant or pristine specimen, leading to life-changing discoveries. The 1978 Eisenhower dollar holds that same potential for those who know what to look for. However, it's important to understand that not every 1978 Eisenhower dollar is worth a fortune. The majority are still considered common and trade close to their face value or slightly above. The real magic lies in identifying the exceptional pieces, the ones that stand out due to rarity, condition, or unique characteristics. Collectors often spend years studying coins like this, learning to recognize the tiniest details that others might overlook. A slight difference in shine, a sharper edge, or a flawless surface can mean the difference between a regular coin and a highly valuable collectible. This level of attention transforms coin collecting into both an art and a science. There's also a deep emotional connection involved. Holding a coin from 1978 is like holding a piece of time itself. It has passed through decades, witnessed countless changes, and yet remains exactly as it was when it left the mint. That sense of continuity and history add a layer of value that goes beyond money. For many collectors, the thrill is not just in the price, but in the hunt. Finding a rare Eisenhower dollar in an unexpected place, an old collection, a forgotten drawer, or even a bulk lot can feel like uncovering buried treasure. It's this excitement that keeps the passion alive. If you ever come across a 1978 Eisenhower dollar, don't rush to spend it or dismiss it as ordinary. Take a closer look. Examine its condition, its shine, its details. Sometimes, the most valuable discoveries are hiding in plain sight, waiting for someone curious enough to notice. The market for collectible coins continues to evolve, with demand often rising as fewer high-quality examples remain available. As time passes, coins like the 1978 Eisenhower dollar may become even more desirable, especially those preserved in exceptional condition. Still, becoming a billionaire overnight from this coin alone is more of an exciting fantasy than a guaranteed reality. But that doesn't take away from its potential. In the right condition, with the right rarity, it can absolutely be worth a significant amount, enough to surprise and delight anyone who owns it. The true power of the 1978 Eisenhower dollar lies in its combination of history, rarity, and possibility. It represents the end of an era, the legacy of a leader, and the enduring fascination of collectors worldwide. That alone makes it far more than just a piece of currency. So if you hold one of these coins, treat it with respect, protect it, study it, and understand its story. Because sometimes the smallest objects carry the greatest potential, and the next extraordinary discovery might already be in your hands.